Hi, I'm Laura, a neurophysiotherapist and co-founder of Neuro Heroes. Neuro Heroes runs online exercise classes for people with MS, run by expert neurophysiotherapists with knowledge of MS and how to adapt exercises and activity according to people's symptoms and challenges that they may be facing. We know that exercise can be so useful in helping people manage their symptoms, in building strength and fitness, and also helping people to build positive mental health while living with MS. We also know how hard it can be to get exercising and keep exercising. So we wanted to share some tips today that we often talk about with our Neuro Heroes MS community in how to get going with exercise. Whether you're somebody that has done competitive sport and exercise in the past or has never been into activity, if it's never been your thing, don't worry, keep listening. We're going to be talking about some things that might help you to get a little bit more movement in your life. So I'm going to talk to you and move at the same time. These movements could be a good starting point for exercise. If you haven't moved for a while, you could use these as your exercise, either in the chair or standing up. You could do 30 seconds of each movement. Or if you're planning on doing something a little bit more energetic, these movements could be a good warm-up for you. So, starting with a march, our first tip is to start small. All movement is good, but it's not worth overdoing it. If you're new to exercise, haven't moved much for a while, or if you're listening to this following a relapse, you could start with just 2 minutes. That's enough. You could do these warm-up style movements just in the chair like I am, or standing up, and do a total of 2 minutes of movement. See how you feel later today. See how you feel tomorrow. If you feel a bit achy or a bit tired, that's totally normal and it's fine. Stick with it. You could do 2 minutes again tomorrow or the next day. If you feel fine after doing those 2 minutes, then you could probably build up to doing 3 minutes of movement in one chunk. Then build it up over the coming weeks and months so the total time you're moving gets longer and longer. If this exercise feels quite easy for you, you could build it up to a reach and a march so that you're reaching your hands overhead. Now I want you to have a go at opening the arms out to the side and bringing them back to the middle. So our second tip is that exercise may look different. Might look different from what you've done earlier in life, different from what you see on TV, or different from what you might think of as exercise and fitness training. And that's okay. We get benefits from all sorts of movements and activities. They could be done in the chair, like this, or it could be things adapted from a sport. Try not to be put off by adaptations. All these things can give us the positive impacts from exercise and physical activity. So let's add an extra layer to this movement for people that want to complicate it a little. There we go, adding one leg out to the side to get the lower limbs moving too. So one thing to think about is to try and choose a movement or activity that you already know you can do, something you're good at. We don't have to start something or learn something brand new for exercise. If that excites you, then brilliant. But choosing something you're already good at and know you can do means you can start with confidence and build up from there. Now I want you to punch one arm, then the other. So we've got alternate hands going above our head. So tip number 3 from Neuro Heroes about getting active is to involve other people who are going to encourage and motivate you. This could be exercising in a group so that you get the benefits of social interaction at the same time as you exercise. It could be meeting a friend to do something active, which keeps you accountable. Far harder to wriggle out of doing something if somebody's waiting for you to join them rather than doing it yourself. It could be playing with the children in your family who are definitely going to keep you moving. Generally, going outside we tend to move more than when we stay indoors. Or it could be joining in with a team sport or a game that carries on locally near you. Let's add a kick in front, a heel tap as we punch the opposite arm now for those who want to make the movement a bit harder. Most people don't carry on exercising because they don't enjoy it. So we've got to think about what makes us move and smile at the same time. Is it putting on your favourite song and dancing around the kitchen, or going to a Zumba class if you love dancing already? Playing tennis, maybe going for a wheel or a walk somewhere pretty local to you. Or if you meet a friend regularly for coffee or a pint, might you be able to meet them for table tennis or a game of darts instead? Exercising really doesn't have to be a chore, and involving others so that you get that social side at the same time makes it far easier to get motivated to get moving. Anything that gets you moving is a good thing, but variety is key. You're not going to stick with something if you're bored with it. So think about what really motivates you. Music and using friends and family to encourage and motivate you can really, really help with this. And think big. Think about how you can get activity into your absolute everyday routine. For a big challenge, you could join in with something with a bigger group. Think long term. Could you be working towards a goal where people far and wide are doing the same challenge as you, and that can help encourage you along the way? Also, think small. What can you get into your day on a daily basis? I'm sure there are things that you do absolutely every day. Could you build in some activity to them? So could you be marching on the spot while you do your Wordle, or kicking your legs out in front of the sofa while you do a crossword? Equally, there are unavoidable tasks that maybe you don't enjoy, like emptying the dishwasher. Can you set yourself against the clock and see how quickly you can do it to add a little bit of competition, or see who in your family can hang out the washing the fastest? These little things are ways of getting bits of exercise snuck into your day without it being a daunting big task. We call this exercise snacking. It's a really good way of thinking about doing little bits of movement through the day and therefore building up your general activity levels. If you can get exercise into your day, you really will reap the rewards while living with MS. So try and think about all of those things that will help you get a bit more active. And those top tips are: number 1, start small. Number 2, exercise may look different, but that's okay. And number 3, use other people that inspire and motivate you to help you get going.